Okay, so this is gonna be the last step to completing your assignments, and just remember though, because I didn't really get to it though, but you do want to make sure to edit and modify each of these words. I only did like maybe two of these words and then the body of type. But you want to make sure to complete all of the requirements for the practice today. So we did one, two, and then three. And if you want to, you can actually create multiple greens. We'll actually do that for number four if you guys are kind of curious about that. So collage at least two different textures or patterns onto the design. So, um, that was pretty easy. So you're gonna have to just go on to Google and we're just gonna look up some textures and patterns. So I'll just put texture. See what pops up. And one thing we could do, and I didn't notice this until after we watched the video as a class, but we could actually make our own textures and on paper. I don't really have that many paints, but we could do it though. Maybe we can do it. We'll see. I'm just gonna find some textures to use, and preferably if you can, try to find ones that are like black and white that you can use. Because usually those are the ones that pop out the best. So let me try using this one here. Have this. I just save it on the desktop, and again, do save it in your folders. This is like a grunge black and white texture. So I'm actually just gonna. So all you gotta do is just click and drag the photo that you downloaded, and just make sure when you download it off of the that black and gray box. Don't download it off of here because this will give you a low res file. You look at this one's real small. This one's big. You can see a clear difference though, the quality. If I try to blow this up, this is gonna be like really pixelated. You can see it right there though. Whoops. So just be mindful of that though when you're downloading things. And if this is images, then you know that's a no-no. I'm gonna delete that. And so I'm just gonna click and drag this onto here. So it's gonna cover all of your work depending on where your layers are. My layer's on the very top. I'm actually gonna rotate this and just have it fill the page. So this would be like a nice texture we can add to the picture. Now, yeah, when you add the texture though, you can click on. You're gonna cover the whole thing, and then just like before though, you're gonna play around with these different overlays to see what they do. So maybe darken, multiply, color burn. Color burn's actually making it show up inside the picture. See screen and line. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Color dodge. Ooh, it's a little too bright. So yeah, you kind of just play around with it though. Find one that kind of works. Again, I always end up liking the overlay, but that's just me though. Oh, this is kind of neat though. This texture right here. It's hard light. I really like the colors on this one. And one thing you can do too is you can actually fade the opacity out. It's not as harsh. And then just like how we did with the words, though, we were erasing parts of the words using the layer mask. You can actually use the layer mask to delete parts of the areas. So you can have some parts like faded out and showing up later. So I'm just gonna do reveal all. So layer mask reveal all, and I'm just gonna use a big fuzzy brush. So use this soft brush here. Um, change the opacity. So when you change the opacity, it's only going to erase a little bit at a time, like 30% at a time, as opposed to 100% where it's going to erase it all the way. So like, if I use the eraser here, this is going to, well, not the eraser, the brush tool. So remember, black will erase, and then the white will bring it back. So this is just like purely erasing it, all the way. This one will only erase a little bit at a time. So we go with the black. I just erase a little bit. I don't know, maybe you can have like some subtle areas of where this texture is showing up. So that's a nice texture you can add there. And then if we were to try like add multiple gradient maps, because that is an option you can do too, is you can create another gradient map on top. You can actually have it affect only that bottom layer. So we're gonna only have that affect that bottom layer. Maybe we might want to do something that's like a little contrasty. Or actually, that's kind of interesting using these same colors here. But let's just try to use just like a bluish tone to it. Or we can do this dark blue, but then like make it like I guess like a purplish color. I don't know. Oh, I see what's happening here. So these are like the highlights, and this is like your shadow here. So you can have like nice contrasting colors. It's like you have to just experiment with it. Maybe keep it blue, but I'm just trying to find like a dark blue. This is a good way of adding the textures to it. If you add some colors to it, you can. And then other things you could do too is if you want another texture on top. Let's try a pattern instead. So pattern. You look up some patterns to use. Shepard Fairey kind of uses like these interesting patterns to go with their picture. Now, just be mindful though, if you were to sell your picture to anybody, just keep in mind that there's copyright issues to it. So, whoever made these things though, you were to actually like sell your artwork, you would have to kind of like pay credit to their work. You could essentially make your own textures and patterns, but for purposes of learning the program though in this project, it's okay to use it as a learning tool. But essentially we are using other people's work to create our own artwork. So just be mindful of that when you use it. So we're gonna have another pattern here. And I might actually try to put the pattern in the hair. Oops. Let's click OK on that. So let's do multiply line. Let's see what happens when we change it up. I want to try to add it to like a certain area in the picture. That's a little bit more challenging to do. Shepard Fairey has like some patterns in certain areas in the picture. So screen's a little too harsh. You gotta just play around with it though, see where it would fit. Maybe I might do a screen, but fade it out a little bit. And then if you really wanted to try to get it like within the picture, you can do like layer mask, reveal all. And this will require a little bit more work, but you don't have to do this for the practice, but you may end up doing this in your actual final though. I'm going to actually change to 100, change to hard brush. And, if I want it to be like in like specific areas of the picture, like for example, is like I wanted it in the just like the black area of the hair. I would just have to erase that perfectly as best as I can. Again, if you mess up though, it's always easy to go back and clean it up. So like right here, like whoops, I did that. You can go to white and bring that picture back. So those are some easy fixes. Black will erase, the white will bring it back. Use the hand tool to move around. But I'm just cleaning up those edges. This is if you want to do like those very specific things, because he always has like these interesting patterns in between like certain areas. But if that's like what you're trying to do, then I'm just trying to show you how to do it. It's not required. I mean, you get the idea though. I'm actually gonna just do like a fade in right here. Like I'm a big fan of like fading things in and out. It's like you're kind of hiding it a little bit, but it's like it still looks nice though. So even if we did a little bit of that, we kind of do a little bit of fading right here to the face. That's fine too. I gotta make it look like it's part of the picture though. It's believable. if you want to put like a new gradient map on it, we can. So again, I'm just doing the gradient map, but I'm only applying it to this layer here. So it's gonna go down there. Maybe when we go back to those photographic tones, see what we can do with it. I'm not a big fan of this, but it's just to show you though you can do these things though, if you wanted to.